Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to the final episode. Yes guys, the final episode of What If Naruto opened the gate of alchemy and awaken all the abilities. I just want to say thank you all, yes. A big thank you to you all for sticking around with this series and enjoying it guys. Thanks for the likes, the comments, and subscribers who came to my channel because of this series. I just want to say thank you once again. But you already know that new what ifs are coming up. Yes guys, new what ifs are coming up for you guys to enjoy, so just sit back, relax, and yeah, just like that, enjoy. And remember, if you're new, go ahead and click that red subscribe button, and yes, I did have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification to stay posted, and yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Let's begin the intro. So, the last part that we left off. The Chunin exams was taking place within Konoha, as all Jonins were in the room. As Naruto and Kakashi got into an argument, as this time they challenged each other. Well, Kakashi was the one challenging him. As Naruto had promised him that next time they came to blows with each other, he wasn't going to like it. As this fight was going to be to the death, Harrison knew that if he did not, allow this, they would just prosper their hate and hate until they either mess each other up in a mission or something bad happened behind his back. As he was gonna allow it to happen in the stadium. Everyone was rather surprised by that. The day finally came as Naruto made his way down there. Kakashi was waiting on him as he wasted no time. The moment Hokage gave the signal, he strike. As their battle started out, both men clashed against each other, but Naruto taught him a lesson in ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu. It turns out that Kakashi, he should have known this by now, but he never took any time to notice that he was nowhere near Naruto's level. As Naruto put him in his place, but he did not kill him, instead, he froze him. As he turned to solid steel, his body turned to a statue form. Forever, to be stay like that. The people were startled by that. Not many knew that Naruto was far above almost all Jonins in the village, like a far distance away, and Kakashi signed his own death when he did that. Not to mention Team 7 was basically disbanded, with Sakura not really having a sensei at the moment, but Sai went back to where he was from, Route that be, as he was still working as a secret agent for Naruto in there. As for Sasuke, he was on house arrest, as he couldn't really get anything that he wanted, but soon enough, the Chunin exam finally started as Naruto was going to be the proctor of third exam, with his little twist on the exam. The kids were able to make it through the first half, after which they came to face the others, as Naruto met back with Gaara as they spoke. As they told him about the forest, as they would be hunted. Everyone got themselves ready as they entered said forest until it turns out that Orochimaru was here, to cause the destruction as you want, the body of Sasuke after all. But he was here. So with that, Naruto, Hana, Anko, and the others all spread into the forest. They found Orochimaru and they caught him. But in a slip of mistake, he was able to get away. But Orochimaru realized right there and then the strange abilities that Naruto was using, and how powerful he was. But in the end, he slipped away as Naruto was rather pissed off at that. But Harrison told him that nothing is certain in life. Anko on the other hand was beyond furious as she almost used a suicide technique to blow herself up along with Orochimaru. She really wanted the man dead. So yeah guys, it's basically that's what I thought you guys can switch across the place and think of yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? Hana arrived to see Anko and Haku sitting on either side of Naruto as they rested against a tree that was turned over because of Anko. Not wasting time, she went in and sat right on his lap. As she leaned against him, "At least the Jennings are safe and alive," she said. "Except the grass and the rain squad," said Naruto. As they looked at him, the grass was killed by Orochimaru. The rain team was killed by the sand team. They made it to the tower in 1 hour. And they had no scratch on them. And they had both scrolls. What has the Hokage decided? Uncle asked, as this was the first time that she spoke since the encounter in the forest. "The exam will continue." What? Both Uncle and Hana said. The Hokage decided to offer any team that wishes to continue in a preliminary match. "Is he off his nut?" Uncle asked. "I asked him the same thing," said Naruto. "He wants us to use it as a trap for the snake bastard." Uncle looked at him. "And the Jennings are the bait?" "No, but it is a side distraction while the Hokage recalled our forces in secret." Hana looked at him. "Anything else?" "We're not at fault. He said more experienced ninja had made the same mistake, and Orochimaru has slipped away." Uncle snorted the next time. "I'll cut off his head and burn his body," she said. "Really?" "Because the Hokage thought that you might like a lawn ornament to use," said Naruto. "Nah, it would scare the neighbors," Uncle said. Ed snorted from above. "Like your sexual Olympics, don't scare the neighbors already." "Shut it, fuzzbutt," Uncle said. "Or what? You flash me your chest?" Naruto sighed. "Anyways, the Jennings will be having an elimination round until we get 8 competitors. I suggested that all go battle royale, the last 8 advancing." The old man thought it was a bad idea, seeing that there are several Konoha teams inked already. He'd go in with the one-on-one matches to eliminate Jennings. In order to be fair, "I like the idea of a battle royale. All those bodies and fists flying," said Uncle with a smirk. "Anyway, I told him since they were at the tower, our job is done. Hayate will deal with the preliminaries." "What are we gonna do now, Naruto-kun?" asked Haku. "We're going snake hunting," said Naruto as he held up a vial with skin samples inside. "These are from Orochimaru Jennings' vial. The Orochimaru has given us access to them." He held up a second vial. "These are samples found in the skin after he abandoned it, the one that he left in the forest. We'll head home and change in the first year." Then Hana and Triplets sniffed him out. "This time, we will do it as a proper team. I messed up last time and he got away. This time as a team." As he looked at Uncle, "And keep your temper in check. He's probably wondering why the seal did not work, so keep the scarf up." Uncle nodded, and as one, the girl stood. "We'll be back soon, Naruto-kun." As they went off, Ed hopped off the tree and landed. "You know, with those 3, your life will never be boring." Naruto nodded. "I want you to stay hidden and watch everyone, to see what that mind of yours can pick up," said Naruto. "Keep eye on the foreign teams." Ed nodded. "Good hunting," Ed said as he made his way off, leaving Naruto to think of tactics to deal with Orochimaru. Well, he needs an alchemic circle to use. A small amount of alchemy, so if he's on the move he can't use any bastardized version of alchemy. As Naruto got up, "We're coming, you bastard, and this time, you won't get away," he said. The tattoos on his arms glow red, but Naruto did not notice them. Elsewhere, "My lord, leave me," Orochimaru said. He was nearly killed and captured by a team that his reports knew little about. That damn Kyuubi brat. Where did he get this power? "I am uncertain, my lord. His file is held by the Hokage himself, and no one but him has access to it." "What can you tell me about Sasuke Uchiha?" as Orochimaru spoke to his spy from the shadows. "He is still under some form of house arrest, but we have yet to spot the guards." Orochimaru smiled at that. "It will be easy then," he said. "On the day of the attack, send a squad to retrieve poor Sasuke-kun from his prison, and we shall offer him power beyond his wildest imagination, and see what you can find out about Jinchuriki and his team. I want everything." He then thought to himself why Uncle Kursmart didn't affect her. It's not like she could remove it. As he wondered, he thought about the blonde, and the way he attacked. He's got the books and the scrolls. Could it really be, he wondered. Time skip. "Haku, Uncle, report," said Naruto. Nothing. The voice of Uncle came back in the headset. "Keep in sight. He has not left the village." As he looked towards Hana, who had 2 of her dogs, the last one was with Uncle and Haku. "Anything?" As Hana nodded, "The trail is faint, but he has been here. Most of the tracks that we found lead right to the tower." "Uncle," Hana said Naruto. "The trail that we got head right back to the tower." "Yeah, Ember. Is sniff not the same thing now? We'll meet you there. As Naruto turned towards Hana. Looks like we're gonna see the Genin again after all. Time skip. That was pathetic, Uncle said, as she leaned against Naruto as they watched from the shadows. Standards in the academy have fallen. What the hell was Iruka thinking passing them? As Ino was carried away by her sensei. Man, Asuma should have fixed that. He had her for several months. Their bear kid used her fear to turn her into a puddle of goo. Uncle said that she was truly disappointed with the Kunoichis of Konoha. Most of the other teams had pulled out after their experience in the forest, leaving a team from the sand, the sound, and the rest were all from Konoha. Kiba went against the puppet, user from the sand. Hana smirked as she watched her younger brother shred the puppet and slam into the makeup wearing boy with his combo beast attack. Party tonight, said Naruto as Kiba was announced a winner. As Uncle grinned. Hana smiled as well. And Tsume needs to find another snuggle buddy, said Uncle. Kin lost to Shikamaru as he knocked her out. What do you think, Haku? Any of them worthy of tuning? Not without more training or conditioning. I agree with Uncle. They have gaps in their training. Even Kiba, Hana said. Hey, I love my brother, but he's nowhere ready. This is about their sensei egos, said Naruto. Kurina and Asuma won't want to prove that you're ready for their jonin positions. Kurina, who made it recently, and Asuma recently came back from the Fire Daimyo's court, as Rock Lee was broken by Guy. The Sand user ending his career by breaking his back before Guy could save his student. Psst. As Naruto glanced up to see Ed. What? The sound jonin. He smells of snake. As Hana looked up to see Two-Tailed Fox hanging on the pillar with Chakra. How? Naruto covered her mouth. He's here, he said, as he locked eyes with Uncle. Where? She said. Naruto-kun, Hana whispered, as she was watching the fight between Neji and Hinata. Naruto, he's gonna kill her. As Naruto saw Neji moving to strike her heart, as he leaped downwards, as he took the strike on his adamantium arm, his other arm came around as Neji was on the ground, clutching his throat. As Haku landed, he hit her heart. As the medics rushed out, her heart is fluctuating. As Naruto cursed Hana, go with Haku and medics, he said. Neji coughed. It figures. Special treatment for the main, he said. Naruto turned to look towards Neji, Kurenai, Guy, and Asuma. Teacher, student, better guy, he said. Naruto-sama, I apologize to my student. I don't blame you for this, Guy, said Naruto. I blame his clan for letting things get to where they are, as he turned to see the sound. Sensei missing. Damn it. He looked at Sindamaru. Find him. The dog nodded and moved off. The sole member of the sound team back to his dark sniff where he was before he started to bark. As Uncle followed after the dog. We're on his trail, said Naruto. Keep everyone here. As he moved off, as Hiruzen snapped his fingers, as the Yonvu sealed the arena. I am afraid, until the eternal matter is settled, you will all have to remain here. Time skip. Hello. Orochimaru turned to see his former apprentice standing in the middle of the street. Visiting hours are over, she said as she glanced towards the apartment behind her. The Uchiha will be mine, just like you are. Uncle snorted. So, you gave him your hiki. Shame about that. Did he tell you can't leave home? Orochimaru laughed as he looked at the dog at her side, who was growling. He kept his motion slow. He mentioned he was under house arrest, and some jutsu keep him from leaving. Orochimaru said as he was rather angry as he couldn't find where the seal was. If he could find it, he would destroy it. Tell me, my dear little snake, what happened to Kakashi Atsuki and my spies? Have been unable to find it out. A wicked smile came on Uncle's lips. Ask my boyfriend, she said. Orochimaru leaped, as where he stood metal spikes sprung up. He barely landed as a dog attacked him. He twisted his body in an unusual way to get past the dog, as he started to flash through Hansen until a metal ball slammed into his chest. As his eyes focused on the blonde, who was standing on top of a cannon. What the? As he realized too late the ball was not just metal, it started to glow. Boom! It exploded. He landed and rolled several feet. The vest he was wearing was smoldering. He touched his chest to see blood. He was feeling something he hadn't felt in some time. Pain. As Naruto slammed his hand down towards the ground before Orochimaru could move, he found himself trapped and pinned down, starting from his left arm going over He flashed to one-handed seals with the right hand, and flashed away using a substitution. As he landed against the other side of the street, he had to leap as a hail of kunai decimated the area. As he saw that it was Uncle, he rolled out of the way as his feet was caught in the damn mouth of the dog he forgot about. He found his arm captured by the snake. As he looked to see Uncle standing there, "You're not getting away this time." He was about to flash two hands in his other hand until a spear drove right through it. Orochimaru cursed. Where did he get that? Orochimaru, former son of Konoha. "It's my duty to execute you for your crimes against Konoha." Orochimaru's eyes widened the venom from Uncle's attack, the dog keeping him whole and the spear in his hand, preventing him from using chakra. No, not like this. All his plans would be ruined. "Have a nice day," said Naruto, as his arm started to glow, as Uncle saw the marks. "What's that?" "Scar touch," said Naruto, as Naruto reached forward and placed that on Orochimaru's head. Boom! The head exploded. Uncle went on to burn the body. "And so, the legend passed," said Naruto. "He gave the Uchiha Hike," said Uncle, as Naruto shrugged. "He's trapped where he is. Let's go tell the old man." As he patted Cinder's head. "Good boy," he said. "Great job." As they made their way. But they were wrong. Inside the apartment, Sasuke was on his knees, his hands covering the mark on his neck. Moments later, his eyes changed to slits as laughter came out of his mouth. That sounded rather odd. Lucky young Sasuke was so close, otherwise I would have died. As Orochimaru that took over Sasuke's body looked around, now to find the containment seal and get my new body out of here. As Uraka and Sasuke looked around, trying to find the seals. Time skip. Hokage's office. "Well done," said Hiruzen. Naruto nodded, but Hokage saw the look in his eyes. "What's wrong?" "He went down too easy," said Naruto. "Anvu has checked the ashes. The blood that is found there is matched Orochimaru DNA," Hiruzen said. Naruto shook his head. "I just think the snake died too quickly," he said. "And what does Uncle think?" Hiruzen asked. "She thinks that he's dead. I sent her home. I told her I'd file the report." Hiruzen nodded. "Recommendation: keep an eye on the team still here, and send out a Black Ops team to check the area. Everything from what you've told me, and from what I studied in his files, put him as a man that do not take chances without backup." Hiruzen nodded. "Noted. You can go and rest," he said. "The preliminaries are done, and the Jennings have a month before the finals. I want you and your team working with Ibiki with security, with the dignitaries that we got coming." Naruto nodded. "Did we get any of our Jennings into the finals?" "Several," Hiruzen said. "Until then, enjoy your free time," he said. "Enjoy your paperwork," said Naruto, as Naruto left with a smirk, as Hiruzen frowned. "That's just being nasty," he said. Time skip. Naruto's apartment. As Naruto closed the door behind him as he turned to find himself being kissed by Haku, the ice user pulled back and smiled, making him smile as well. "Where's the others?" he asked. She grabbed his shirt and pulled him towards the bedroom. The lights were out and there were candles lit around the room, on shelves. Lying in the middle of the bed was a smiling uncle. Meanwhile, Konoha streets. Hana looked at the place where her mates had fought and won against Orochimaru. Cinder was looking towards the home of Sasuke Uchiha. "You smell it too, huh?" she said, as the dog nodded. Ember and Ash were looking back in front. As for her being here, she had agreed with Haku and Uncle, allowing them to have some chance with Naruto. She knew she would get her time, but that was not the big deal right now. Cinder was not pleased when they left. Something was just off and the dog knew it. As Cinder and her dogs could not talk. They could not talk until they were 6. But she could get images from their mental link that they had with each other, and not to mention feelings. And he kept on sending her images of Orochimaru and Sasuke as she moved towards the door. Hana-chan, as she yipped, almost jumping from her skin. She sighed when she saw who it was. "Oh hey Al," she said. "Sorry." But Naruto-san was worried. "And since Uncle-chan and Haku-chan have him tied to the bed, he wanted me and Ed to find you." "What do you mean?" Hana asked. "Well, brother had a feeling it was not over. He said to tell you to leave it for now because Uchiha cannot go anywhere. And if it is what he thinks, well, he has plans. Hannah growled, and he was gonna tell us when. Well, he was hoping to talk with you all when he got home, but... Al, as he looked up to see Ed on the wall. Ed, get down! No need. The Uchiha is in the basement, trying to find the seals so he can destroy them. He kept talking to himself in his laughter. Sounds more like the snake. So brother is right, Orochimaru did possess the Uchiha. As Ed nodded, I'm glad. We removed the seal from Uncle. We have to make sure there aren't any nearby. When we finish them off, we're going to go around and check things out. As Ed jumped on Al's shoulder as they moved around, time skip Hokage's tower. As Harrison frowned, it seems that Naruto was right. The spies that we have in this town confirm that Orochimaru can steal a body, as long as it has its seal and it is close by. As Hannah's companion had smelled snake around the Uchiha's home. My student, every time that we think we're done, you find a crack and you still slip away. Meanwhile, at the Uchiha's house, Master, come in. Stay away from the windows. The voice was a blend of Sasuke and Orochimaru. As his spies in Konoha entered, we heard that you were killed. A mere distraction. Keep the plans in motion. As Orochimaru was not happy one bit. He could not find the seals and he didn't want to leave, because they might do something bad to this body. Kabuto, yes Orochimaru-sama, find what seals are here and find what they do, and why is Chakra seal along with his Sharingan. He was standing trial, my lord. This could be... Find out what they are. I'm stuck in this body for 3 years. If it is flawed, I need to know, said Orochimaru, becoming a bit pissed off. Also, find out everything about the Kyuubi container. All your information was off. The only one that possessed actual files of him is the Hokage. Myself and my spy network cannot access the office while the Hokage is gone. The moment he steps out, a barrier springs up. As Orochimaru hissed in anger, have you found out about Hatake? All files are missing. His statue is in a public place. Have smart people remove it and get it to my lab. Also, wake up Kimimaro. Have him ready for the day of the finals. We need to change plans. He has a new task. What would that be, my lord? He is to find and kill the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, Naruto Uzumaki, the Hokage's right hand, said Orochimaru as he clenched his fists. Time skip. As Naruto looked at Gaara. Just answer me why, he said. I would like to say it's Shikaku's fault. Screw you, ass humper, Shikaku yelled. But the truth was, I was angry and frustrated. He was so fast, said Gaara. I have spoken to the Hokage and offered myself up for reparations. You got mad, said Naruto. As Gaara nodded, he was fast, and he kept on getting faster, and he hit me. When that happened, You had a flashback, said Naruto. As Gaara nodded, it was when my uncle tried to kill me. I don't know what happened then. Temari thinks it was the movements that triggered it. So what did the old man say? Gaara looked at him as he didn't see any judgment in his eyes. Myself and my siblings will be transferred to Konoha. I agreed that a third of my pay will go to Rock Lee for my missions, and I will see a mind reader once a week. So you're saying that you're cracked, said Naruto, with a grin. No more than you. Shit for face, said Shikaku as he leaped towards the blonde. Sit, said Gaara, as the stuffed raccoon hit the floor hard. As Gaara looked nervous, I would like you to come with me when I visit Rock Lee and his saints in the hospital. As Naruto patted him on the shoulder. You and your sister get rather aggressive when fighting, don't you? Gaara nodded. It's a sand thing. Or that is what Baki says. I'll go with you, said Naruto. I need to avoid the apartment for a bit. Gaara narrowed his gaze. Women are troublesome, said Naruto. Living with 3 is hell. Gaara blinked. Time of the month, he said. As he shuddered. That was the only thing that he was afraid of when he had Shikaku inside of him. When it was that time for Temari. Let's go, said Naruto. As Gaara picked up the raccoon. Come on, Cuddle, said Naruto. Maybe we can leave you in the children's ward. You bastard! I hope you get violated by a dog, Shikaku yelled. As Gaara pulled out a roll of duct tape placed over his mouth. Next time, we will sew it shut. You know, I'm still surprised that you're sane, with having this thing in your head all day. As Shikaku screamed and roared but nothing came out. Time skip. Konoha Hospital. Lee, said Naruto. Sitting next to Lee was my guy. Naruto-sama, said Guy, but his expression quickly changed as he saw Gaara behind him. He's come to apologize. He turned himself over to Hokage for his actions, as Lee was still sleeping. They're keeping him sedated. What's the prognosis? Naruto asks. His spine is broken. He's paralyzed from the waist down. Gaara moved forward as Guy looked at him. As he knelt, I am sorry for my actions. If it's my life that you wish to take, then take it, he said. Guy raised his hand as his face looked towards Gaara before looking towards his student. All three of them ignored the squealing of the raccoon doll as Guy brought his hand down and dropped it on top of Gaara's head. Your fires of youth burned bright and hot that day, but you allow your passions to rule you. I could not blame you any more than I could Lee. I taught him to open the gates. If I had not, he might not have pushed you into anger. As Naruto looked at Lee, he remembered watching Guy and him train several times, while he was on downtime watching the village. As Gaara stayed, after a while Naruto left. He had more errands to run. Back at the apartment. So, we're clear, said Hana. You both go stay at my mother's. He's mine tonight. Uncle gave a smile, but Haku still seemed to be in a coma from what Naruto did to her. Did he really? Hana asks. Yeah. I don't think that she's gonna be on her own 2 feet, without help for some while. As that brought a smile to Hana's face, knowing that her time. She took several deep breaths, as it would just be she and him alone. Remember, keep an eye on Uchiha's place. Can't believe we didn't check it, but that slippery bastard. As Hana nodded. Now, you said Gusher, right? As Uncle smirked at that. Back at the Uchiha district, ever so often he could see movement, but the blinds were down. It was hard to tell who it was. As Ed sat beside him. Activated, said Ed, as Naruto chuckled and shook his head. The old man wanted to see what the snake bastard has planned. Regardless, the gravity seal is in a place that he would never think of. Should he cross the border of the walls, he would go squish. Just like a grape, said Ed. You know, once this all is settled, I think I'm gonna use my backup. Vacation days, said Naruto. Ed looked at him. What's wrong, he said. Nothing, said Naruto, it's just, we've been on the move since the day I lost my real arm, and got this. And if Envy is right, there's a bigger threat out there than Orochimaru that got access to alchemy, the seals that we look at. Before leaving Wave, said Ed. Yeah, I looked over the books and scrolls, and there's nothing like that in there, said Naruto. You know, said Ed as he went thoughtful. Orochimaru with that body trick reminds me of someone. Naruto was about to say something until he saw a silver-haired genin slip in the house as he pressed his headset. This is Fox 1. Interrogator. I found the spy. It's Kabuto. Fox. This is the interrogator. The voice of Ibiki rang out. Watch. Envoy ETA, 5 minutes. Copy, said Naruto. Hey, why are you on watch duty? Asked Ed. Avoiding the apartment, I swear. Haku and Hana. I'm encore in heat, said Naruto. Poor baby. As the both of them turned, as they saw Temari lean against her giant battle fan, as she made her way towards them. Later, brother, as Ed jumped away. Ah, Temari-chan, said Naruto. Good to see you. As he spotted the envoy that Ibiki sent, and they took spots distance away. Bastards. I'll remember this during evaluation, he said. Naruto-kun, you're acting like you're trying to avoid me, said Temari. As Naruto knew what Han and Uncle thought of her, since they met back in the sand. I have been busy with my duties, Temari-chan, he said, as he took a step back for every step that she took forward. Did you get my present? She asked. As Naruto remembered the gift box that arrived before the exam start, he still recalled how Uncle and Hana wanted to hunt her down. I got them, Temari-chan. The underwear and pictures had him in deep trouble. The girls had tied him up and burned them, and as she stepped closer, luckily Uncle arrived. Things just went from bad to worse, said Naruto as he saw the both of them glaring at each other as Uncle stood between them. Her gaze went back towards Temari. I thought Hana and I told you once. He's taken. But you added that other girl, said Temari. Haku is special. Hot stuff, go back to the apartment. Hana-chan wants to speak with you privately. Haim? Go on, Whiskers. It's woman talk time, said Temari. You know what? Anfu can deal with it, and I'll bail Uncle out later, said Naruto as he made his way off. Know that he's out of the way. As Temari opened her fan, well, we can get down to business. As Uncle smirked, Temari fell as she was hit. A look of betrayal on her face as she was hit from behind. You're right. She never saw it coming, Haku said. She stepped from the shadows. Of course I was right. Come on, grab her feet. We'll go to this place I know. Temari could only move her eyes as she watched the two girls lift her up. Continue your task, she said, as she looked towards the hidden envoys, before her and Haku vanished with Temari. You know, I was expecting a bigger fight, Hawk said. Shut up. The last thing that we need is to piss off the Hokage's hand and his group. You think Uncle is scary. You don't want to mess with the alchemist. And why is that? As the four envoys were taken out, as Orochimaru sighed, as he picked up one over his shoulder, dispose of these rests, as he took the prisoner back into the Uchiha complex to interrogation. Meanwhile, as Naruto lined on his balcony, as he entered, inside was rather dark. The other shades were drawn. Hana-chan, he said. As he entered, he heard a soft growl. The next thing he knew, he was tackled down to the ground, as his mouth was taken by her. As Naruto saw the look in her eye, oh Kami, she's in heat, he said. He had saw this several times in the past before, but usually she would be locked up in her room until they got together. As he did a mental calculation, yes, it was that time. That is why she wanted him all alone for herself. That is why she made a deal with the other girls. And this was the third day of her being in heat. As he realized that she must have been holding his back for so long now, 2 days, but the hurt must seem like an eternity. And after what he did to Haku and Uncle, he knew this was going to be rough, but, well, he was going to enjoy it. Meanwhile, Forest of Death, Uncle sat on the log before the bound Temari. You know, you just keep on causing us trouble. Temari was glaring rather badly. Listen, Desert Girl, I'm sure that you got some nice assets, and you could probably rock Naruto's world, but you're going about it all wrong. You need to speak to us before you go after him. Hana and I talk about it after we return from the sand. You need to know if you want him. You have to really want him, not a one-night stand. If you want a quick screw, go find a joy boy. If you join, you will be a part of us. You need to learn that we share him, and he loves each of us equally. No one is favored, and there is no fighting for his affection. We each get our time, sometime alone, and sometime together. As she gave Haku a wink, as Haku blushed, Temari's eyes widened, as Uncle chuckled. No, you don't have to share, but it can be fun. How long does this last again? Uncle asked. About 3 hours now, Haku said. Well, at least Hana is getting lucky. I wonder how the Envoy team is doing around the snake den. Meanwhile, Uchiha compound. What do you mean he doesn't know? Orochimaru asks. The only information that he has is Uzumaki was the one that did the procedure. I do not believe that Kyuubi Container is the only one with the power in this village. He looked at Kabuto. Why haven't you reported his abilities yet? Kabuto sighed. Uzumaki and his team are rarely around the village, and I cannot gain access to the place while they're here. They have contacts with a very select few, not that much. No one knows where Uzumaki lives. The few people I asked direct me to an abandoned apartment that no one has lived for some time. Damn it. And Sasuke memories are not useful. He had no contact with Uzumaki until a recent mission where... My lord? Orochimaru dropped as he gripped his head in pain. There are memory blocks. I don't recognize the seals. As he frowned as he got back up. All files are classified, and I'm finding it hard to move her in the village since her body was destroyed. Damn it. Get the old woman here. I need her. She won't come, she said. I don't care. Bring her to me unconscious, but get her here. She might not help me with the alchemy, but she will help me with the body transfer. I thought you have to wait. Get her here. The invasion is off. Tell our people. There is too much going on here, and I'm still trapped. Have you tried to walk right out the door? Asked Kabuto. Orochimaru turned towards him fully. You want me to die? He asked. No, sir, but you said yourself, you cannot find the seals. Perhaps there are none. Perhaps it's a lie. Kabuto. Bring her to me, now. Kabuto nodded. As you wish, my lord, he said. Back at the apartment. You feeling better? Naruto asked. As she nodded and blushed. Why didn't you say something earlier, Naruto asked. I was embarrassed. And I didn't want you to think this was just sex, she said. As Naruto smiled, I know. I'm sorry you had to suffer the last couple of nights. She nodded. I told Haku and Uncle to spend the night at Mom's. At the Hokage's tower. Another squad loss. Do they really believe we wouldn't notice? They waited until Uzumaki and the steam were gone. Then they struck. Yakushi has been seen, moving toward the records room several times now. Hiruzen knew what the spy was trying to find out, as he slipped a folder to Ibiki. Plant this, and leave only one guard there. Place the others on patrol outside the wall, and let them think we believe the team went AWOL. Let's see how desperate Orochimaru gets. We also need them to believe that Naruto is an easy target, Hiruzen said, as Ibiki nodded and made his way off. No, I just need to get Hibachi, said Hiruzen. The doctor was rather protective of Naruto. Time skip. Inuzuka compound. As Hana snickered and looked at the scene before her. I didn't know Uncle and Haku were adopting. As they looked down towards Temari, who was wearing dog collar, and Alicia as well. As Hana shook her head, as Uncle grinned, Naruto-kun, you need to see the Hokage. There's something he wanted to talk to you about. Ibiki was looking for you earlier. As Naruto kissed each of them and looked at Temari. Go ahead, we're debating, Uncle said. As he kissed Temari in the cheek. Be nice, he told the other three, as he made his way off. As Tatsumi looked towards Hana. He had you 6 ways till Sunday. I'm surprised you're upright. Tender as hell, but he took care of me this morning. Now, why is she bound and gagged? Haku nerve thing you wore off, and she said I couldn't use any of my sneaks. Hana sighed. I knew being the alpha female was going to be a problem, she said. Bring her inside and unbind her. Party pooper, Uncle said, as he brought Temari inside, as he removed the bindings and the gag, leaving the collar on. As Hana sat down the wings. He's not only hung like a horse, but he has a stamina of one as well. Temari's eyes widened, as she looked toward Tatsumi, who said that. Your mom slept with Naruto-kun? Time skip. Hokage's office. Is that all? Said Naruto as he burned the paper. No, said Hiruzen as his ribs were painful right now. As Hibachi didn't like the mission that he was gonna deploy Naruto on. Ibiki is keeping Kabuto under watch. He left the village last night heading for the border. We know that he will be back, but there are several things that were still missing. Naruto nodded. We have Ed keeping an eye on the snake. He said that there isn't anything left of the Uchiha. Hiruzen nodded. I wouldn't do this, Naruto, but Orochimaru is a S-class threat. Probably double S. With the holes in our security, and with all the dignitaries visiting. We need to be careful. I have already spoken with Ibiki, said Naruto. We agree that putting lower rank tunings on guards for the record room would be better than drawing and pulling envelopes with fake meetings. As Hiruzen nodded, I also suggested to have a squad struck up on the walls. I heard that Hayate was found murdered. As Naruto frowned at that, as he knew the man from his spars. The sound, the grass, the stone, they cannot be trusted. The sand? Gaara is on our side, said Naruto. Temari and Gaara are loyal, he said. As Hiruzen remembers talk with Gaara, and, well, what happened because of Rock Lee. You and your team are going to be doing a Hans mission. As Naruto nodded, it meant that the council was not going to be aware, and no aid will be given. Or used to that, sir. Hana wants a snake for the murder of her cousin, in the forest. Uncle Haim still has issues. Haku feels it right, and Temari. Wait, you added another one? Hiruzen said, cutting Naruto off, as he scratched the back of his head. It's to be determined, but I don't argue with them. Hiruzen shook his head. After the exam, I want you to speak with Jiraiya. He's here in the village, but right now, I need him doing spine work. Anything else, Naruto asked. Yes, could you speak with Hibachi, please? She's not happy with me. And what I plan on you doing. Sure thing, old man, said Naruto. The next time I deal with a snake, there might be some property damage. As Hiruzen nodded. Nighttime. As Ed sat on Naruto's shoulder, he's been talking to himself all afternoon. He's been working himself up for something fierce, said Ed. What about the 4 stone ninjas, said Naruto. They headed back a mile outside the village. All 4 of them have that stupid curse mark. We need to remove them before we kill him, so there's not a repeat of him jumping bodies. Ed nodded. There might be more, but from what I have to tell, There has to be a certain distance so he can use a seal. As they watch as two cloaked figures came down the street, it's Kabuto. And as Ed sniffed what Naruto asked, the look on Ed's face was one that Naruto never seen before since learning of him. A look of fear. Kabuto and the cloaked figure slip in the house as Naruto masked his chakra as he went closer. About damn time you got here, Orochimaru snarled. Do not take that tone with me, boy, the cloaked figure said. It was obviously a woman. As Naruto saw a slender hand, it looked rotted on some parts. My coming here was foolish, even for you. I don't care. There's no one alive that knows about you, mother. I need your help. I need to transfer to a body, and I'm trapped. The woman laughed. Always impetuous, huh, Orkai? Leave us, she said to Kabuto. As Kabuto glanced towards Orochimaru, go, he said. Mother, I know you know more of this ability. Can I transfer before 3 years? You can, however it is damaging and painful, and you won't be able to jump for 6 years if you do it now. Orochimaru snarled. What good is the ability if I can't gain the power I want? I told you there was consequence of the body. Stealing technique. Do you think I like staying like this? As she held up her hand that was rotting. I've been alive for a millennia, Urgai, but each body I steal becomes weak and unstable. It cannot contain my power. What about the body of a Jinchuriki? You mentioned their body being usable. They are, but I need the beast removed before I take over their body. That is why I convinced Madara to take the 9 Bijus. Orochimaru snarled. Madara is a fool. That eternal jutsu you gave him was a waste. Perhaps, but he's formed the Akatsuki and they hunt the Bijus for me. I'll use alchemy to seal the demons into a new homunculi. Then I can start my quest for a new stone. You never told me what the stone does, mother. You do not need to know that, she said. Well, there's something you need to know. Konoha as an alchemist. The woman paused. A rather skilled one that doesn't even need to use an array. She looked towards him. Who, she said. The Jinchuriki to the 90th Fox. They call him Naruto Uzumaki, the Hokage's hand. He's the one who made Copy Ninja Kakashi into a statue as well, and he's the one who trapped this body. He's also been using the last name of Elric. That caused the woman to react violently. Elric? Outside the window, Ed cursed. Dante, he said. While it was true that Gluttony had eaten her, the woman was able to possess a rat and scurry away. He looked at the face. Older, age. But he knew the face. It was the face of Elisha Hakus, the baby of his friend Masu, who he and Al had helped deliver all those years ago. Eli, I'm so sorry, Ed thought. Like the last time he met Dante, the neck area was showing decay, leading down to the chest. As Naruto slipped away, Ed, he said. Ed, Naruto shouted. Seeing the woman seemed to have thrown him into a trance. As Naruto summoned Al. What's up, brother, he said. I don't know. We were spying on the snake when Kabuto returned with some woman. Ed got a sniff and started to act rather weird. I went for a closer look. Orochimaru called her mother. When he told her about the last name Elric, she spun so fast her hood fell off. And Ed went like this. Edward? Said Al. It's Dante. She possessed Elisha. No, said Al. Shit has hit the fan, said Ed. Dante changed everything. Naruto sighed. With everything I've been through so far, could it get any worse, he said. You've just jinked us. As Naruto sighed and lowered his head. Time skip. You're shitting me, right? Said Naruto. I wish I was, said Ed. As for the past 2 hours, he's been telling Naruto about Dante and what she did the last time they met. As Naruto paced, and from the sounds of it, Orochimaru calls her mother. As Ed shuddered at that. I don't even want to think who screwed her. From the amount of rot, and I mean literally. Brother, said Al. It's still Illa. No, said Ed. She stopped being Alicia Hughes the moment Dante set up shop in their body. As Naruto looked towards Al, who looked rather sad. We can't have her nosing about. She might ruin everything. No shit, but the plus side is, there is no homunculus with her. Meaning either, she hasn't tried to make a stone or they're in hiding. No, if Dante had homunculus, she would have used them instead of entering herself. Unless she's keeping them hidden from Orochimaru, said Naruto. From the sounds of it, this Dante woman hates to share power. She would share, but she would betray faster Then you eat ramen, said Ed. She said that she needed the Bijou to create the homunculi, said Naruto. Or perhaps she could be misleading Orochimaru even now, said Ed. My head hurts, said Naruto. Come on, we need to talk with the old man. Time skip. Hokage's office. Privacy seals were activated. Asked Harrison, listen to the reports. How certain are you that this is the same woman? As sure as I am that my name is Ed. What confused me though, is how long the body held up. Could she have used a preservation seal, said Naruto. You said that she used to burn through bodies, within years. Ed nodded. What had me worried is her experimenting with anything, outside of alchemy. She was already dangerous before, and she's had 1,000 years to master things uninterrupted. Hey old man, said Naruto. Did you know Orochimaru's parents? Harrison shook his head. He was an orphan that we found in an abandoned village, during the war. Ed snorted, more like Dante left him to be found, and raised. She's done that before as well, as Ed thought of Rose and her child, as she showed her what Dante had planned for the baby. Anything else? Asked Harrison. We could spend months with this discussion, said Ed. Al and I need to keep out of sight. If Dante sees us, it could be a lot worse. He looked towards Naruto. You will have to be very careful not to use alchemy. The cat's out of the bag with Orochimaru using my surname, but if we can convince her that you're harmless, it wouldn't work, said Naruto. Orochimaru told her I could do alchemy with an array. Shit, I forgot that, said Ed, as he had zoned out when he had saw Dante. Anfu has been spying from further away, Harrison said. Kabuto has been seen around the tower, so the planted information will be picked up soon. As Naruto hated the plans that were in motion, there is so much that can go wrong, he said, as Harrison prayed that everything would work out. Time skip, in the Zaka compound. As Kasumi looked towards the girls, they had been waiting for Naruto but he didn't arrive, so they had ended up falling asleep. It seems that the brat was trying to populate Konoha with his children, repopulate to be exact. Her daughter and uncle was not a surprise. She knew that something would happen since they went on a team with him, as she could see the little sparks there, ever since the team was formed, well after a year or two. But the dark-haired Haku was a surprise. But she meshed perfectly with the group. She brought a sort of calmness to them. As she glanced towards Temari, another loud, strong-minded woman, just what the blonde needs. As Ed had arrived earlier and told her what was going on, and she had to be the one to tell them what is going on. She would wait for morning till that. Meanwhile, Naruto watches Kabuto enter the room. As Kabuto left and sunshine away, the first part of the trap had been taken. Time skip. Orochimaru looked over the files that Kabuto was able to get. Fools. They think I'm dead. They let their guard down. He read the file on the Uzumaki Elric boy. He shook his head at the trust that Harrison gave the boy. To think he also had that trust once. Never attended the academy yet. He's ranked just under the Hokage. Skilled in hand-to-hand. Style unknown. The file was not answering his questions, because his battle with the blonde had shown that things were not as they say. I bet this stupid old man left it out on purpose. After all, he knew the village elders hated the Kyuubi brat. They were the ones who gave him access to the village and their plans for the exam. Mother best come through for me. I can't stay in this useless shell for 3 years. As he picked up the next folder, while Naruto file was limited, the one on Uncle was, well, full of details. He read the file about the Inazaka girl, and there was nothing really important. The moment her and Uncle joined Naruto's side and became his partners, well, their file became limited. Damn it. There was another girl he remembered, but she had no file, meaning that it was a secret. As Kabuto entered, what is it? Message from Dante arrived by a hawk. She will have something for you on the final day of the exam. Orochimaru nodded. So mother came through for me. Make sure everyone is ready. Even without the sun, I hope we can still kill the old man. Your plans for the Uchiha. There are other more worthy hosts. I want you to send the sound for to pick up a specific one. As Kabuto listened and nodded. As you command, my lord, he said. Time skip. As the time dragged on, a group was dispatched to eradicate the sound ninjas that tried to set up patrols near the walls. The summoning arrays that they were trying to summon was destroyed, and they were burned. Temari and Haku were shadowing Naruto, as both of them believed that something was going to happen. and they need to be there to help him. If they only knew how right they were. At the moment, Naruto was watching as Orochimaru continued to look for any signs of what was keeping him there. He smirked, as it was so simple, but Orochimaru would never find the real seal. You do know that was a sick place to put it, right? Said Ed. True, but the old man thought it was funny, said Naruto. And the other seal, how you scribe it in the Uchiha family crest? I know, it hangs there day after day, and not once has he thought about it. The finals are tomorrow, it reminded him. Naruto grunted and said nothing about it. You have to be there, at least to protect the old man if things go south. But I can't leave the bastard unguarded. I just know that tomorrow the Dante woman will make her move, whatever it is. We've taken out several patrols and destroyed a number of arrays, said Ed as Ibiki had taken the photos before the Inuzukas had destroyed them. I know, but some of those arrays, if I understand the mark properly, was to create an army of golem. Ed nodded. That's Dante work, I bet. From what we've learned, Orochimaru doesn't have that skill yet. As Naruto knew that Ed was worried about Dante, she had 1,000 years to get better and collect a lot of information without anyone trying to stop her. As Naruto saw as Kabuto approach, Orochimaru got pissed off, learned that his plans was being stopped. On the inside, Kabuto was sent sailing across the floor as he was backhanded away. You fool! My lord, it looked like the Inuzukas were out on a practice session when they came along the first camp, which had them called the Anvus, and they found the other camps. Orochimaru snarled in anger. Did there were people get caught, he asked. Kabuto shook his head. They either die fighting and fled, or killed themselves. The Sound 4 are secured, as well as the Genin team. Orochimaru snarled. And Dante? She will be here at first flight, and the body has been prepared. I still haven't found the seals. The level of skill of this Uzumaki Elric is rather disturbing, Orochimaru said. Kabuto nodded. Your former apprentice has been seen around. The interrogation department, perhaps. Naruto's team has broken up. Perhaps. If what Dante said is true, we will need a medic. We need to find Tsunade. Kabuto nodded. I will make arrangements for our travel, my lord. Just you and I, Kabuto. No one else must know of my weakness once I transfer over. As you command, said Kabuto. Time skip, tower. I still say that Naruto should activate his heals now, Ibiki said. And tipped off Dante about what we know about her. No, we can't, said Ed. She's a lot more dangerous than a body jumping Sonin. Her skills in alchemy rival what Ed and I know by centuries. If we lose her here, it will be very bad for the near future, said Naruto. How bad, Ibiki asked. The sand 1,000 years ago was a paradise. Dante is the reason why it became a desert. She could do that to the land of fire. Wait, she can be killed, right? Ibiki asked. Well, I tried it once. It obviously didn't stick. We will need to kill her in a barren environment, where there will be no body to jump to. And more than likely the person that is killing her will have to die as well, most likely using poison. A bit overkill, isn't it? Asked Ibiki. Ed snorted. I thought she was dead last time. Don't tell me what overkill is. I would suggest get Jiraiya to be here tomorrow, said Naruto. With you, Hokage-sama, said Naruto as he got the discussion back on track. Hiruzen nodded. Ibiki will be leading the main Anvu forces while Tsutomu has gathered the elder ninjas at this position. He said as he pointed towards the map. We know that we took their advanced groups, but the next wave is going to be coming straight in. Naruto, have the Inuzuka riders swing around the outer wall. Have the Inoshika original here. And get the Hyuga here and here as he pointed towards the map. As they went over the plan, knowing that tomorrow would be the time. Time skip morning came far too early in Naruto's mind as he felt like he had just closed his eyes to sleep. He blinked as he realized he wasn't able to move. He was literally trapped. Temari was snuggled up against his right, Uncle to his left, and there was Haku on top of him. As he saw Hana was cuddled against Uncle's back. They had returned to the apartment. It was booby trap, and the place had went up in flames, as the 5 of them had slipped out to the Inuzuka compound while it would be announced that they were killed in said fire. It would make it rather easier to get Orochimaru if he thought that they were dead. Girls, he said, we need to get up. Time skip, Ibiki stood in the command center as he listened. As the squads reported in. Team Full Metal, you're green lighted to go. Operation Black Hand, I repeat, is a go. 5 clicks came back as Ibiki wished them all luck. Get the Inuzuka riders in position. Hell is about to break loose, he ordered. The masked Anfu nodded as he sent out the signal. The stadium is secure, another one said. Hospital is secure, another one said. Evacuation has begun, a third one said. Chunin and Jenny report. 30% of civilians have already been evacuated and are in the shelter. Inoshikocho reported in. Sir, Squad 27 report, fighting near the east gate. So, it has begun, Ibiki said. Alert the Hokage and prepare all auxiliary units. Back with the Uchiha police. Boom! Explosions went off as sound ninjas spread through the village. A large squad took up defensive position around the Uchiha's compound, while the rest of them walked. Kabuto looked around. Double the guard in the perimeter, he said. The Sound 5 stood along with their leader, as Kimimaro was healthy and strong. I will see to my son, the hooded form of Dante said. As she moved forward, as Kabuto stood there, he knew the balance of power was shifting. He wondered what his real master would want him to do. Meanwhile, at the stadium, Lord Hokage, as Hiruzen nodded, looks like the kid was right. He glanced towards the person that spoke. I have come to trust Naruto's judgment over the last few years. You're not gonna give me the guilt trip now, right? Said Jiraiya. Me? No. I think it's gonna be more fun if Hibachi will be able to speak with you, Hiruzen says. He ripped off his ropes, showing his battle armor underneath. You know, if she hurts me, I won't be able to write, and you'll have nothing to read, right? Hiruzen gave him a flat look. As they made their way, ignore the envoy that said the Hokage should get to the shelter. Ibiki-sama is gonna kill me, the envoy thought, as Hiruzen jumped into the battle as well, along with Jiraiya. Meanwhile, time is of the essence, Mother, Orochimaru said, as he looked towards the purse that was bound and brought in. You cannot rush this, my son, to do this. It will be worse than anything you could possibly imagine. As Dante drew the seal in a ray. This is trouble of your own making. I should leave you here for 3 years. As a lesson. As Orochimaru snarled. Lord Orochimaru, the prisoner, is the one that you requested from the mist. We will have to keep away from there for the foreseeable future. Like I hear, Orochimaru said. As for the young man that they captured, his name was Tear. It had taken the entire Sound 5 to take him down. He had a rather powerful bloodline, as Kabuto injected him in the neck to keep him down. Even the sedatives were not able to hold him for too long. As they heard chaos outside. Sounds like your forces are being routed, Urkai. It matters not. Free me of this shell. I can rebuild my force later, Orochimaru said. As Dante nodded as she started to gather her energy, when the front wall exploded. As Anko had thrown the disc that Naruto had made for her, the moment they made contact with the wall, they exploded. Hana and her dogs were ripping apart the Sound Ninjas, while Haku had trapped the Sound 5 in her ice dome. As Naruto leaped through the hole and landed right in the room. Excuse me, is this a private party or can anyone join, he said. A pissed off look came on Orochimaru's face, with a shocked look as well. Meanwhile that was going on, Lord Orochimaru really wanted this hunk of crap as a Sound member, as he took 6 of them to lift the statue onto the cart. Shut up, fool. Rumor has it this is Kakashi Hatake. I call bullshit. No way is this hunk of metal Hatake. No one can turn anyone to metal. As they continued to bicker as they took the statue of Kakashi away. Back at the Uchiha district, Naruto ducked as his chakra skull would pass over his head, Kabuto trying to slice him up. Kabuto spin and started attacking him rather ruthlessly, but Naruto weaved and dodged every single one of them. You're not dead, a pity, but a blessing as well. I can kill you myself, said Kabuto. Your turn, said Naruto, confusing Kabuto as a wind blast slammed into him, breaking him through the wall. As Temari jumped in, before she leaped after Kabuto with her fang. Sorry, I can't let you free him, said Naruto as he looked towards Dante. She looked towards him like he was an insect under a microscope. You do resemble him greatly, Dante said. Who? Said Naruto, trying to play dumb. Dante cocked her head to the side. So you're the boy that Edcon was sealed into. Tell me, boy, is he still a little whiny bitch? Damn it, said Naruto. Who are you calling a whiny bitch? You living excuse of an old, crippled up, rotten piece of... Naruto slammed his face with a metal hand, as his sweat dropped as Ed had broken cover. So you're free, she said as Ed froze. Crap, he said. as his temper got the better of him. As Orochimaru blinked at that, it never dawned on him that the Kyuubi child would be separated from Demon Fox, and yet still live. "It has been a while, hasn't it, Full Metal?" said Dante, as she studied Ed. "And to be trapped in the body of a descendant, that must have boggled your mind." Ed was in the mood to discuss lineage with her. "What are you doing with that body?" he said. Dante smiled. "You like? It took me some time to do this, but I'll let you in on a secret. I've been cloning the body for 1,000 years. I was amazed when I was trapped in the body of a rat, when I barely escaped gluttony, feeding frenzy. Then I came across her as a teenager. I watched her for years as she matured, and then I finally struck." As Dante smiled evilly, she was at her father's grave grieving when I took her. "It was after you and your brother had disappeared. What did happen to you both, I never knew, until I learned of your transformation. Tell me, Edward, do you and the other Bijus really believe that you're protectors of mankind? They don't even acknowledge it. They attack you and..." Ed cut her off, "and you keep on playing your merry little games." She cocked her head to the side. "How did you do it, Edward? How did you and the others become Bijus?" "Enough," said Naruto. "We won't let you leave here with the stolen body of the Uchiha and Orochimaru." Dante looked towards Naruto, and then towards Orochimaru. "Urkai, my son, it won't work." "What?" said Orochimaru. "The array is damaged." As she reached out and grabbed the sacrifice, she snapped his neck. "Until we meet again, Edward." As she vanished, Orochimaru snarled as he charged towards Naruto, who slapped his hands together as her room was bathed in a bright red. Orochimaru was wrapped around with stone and metal as he left his face alone freed. "Looks like Dante didn't care that much about you." "I'll kill you, boy!" Orochimaru yelled. "No, I don't think you will. This ends here for you," said Naruto. "Orochimaru, former Sannin of Konoha. By the power invested in me by the third Hokage, I, Naruto Uzumaki Elric, sentence you to death." As Naruto slapped his hands together, "Wait, what are you?" asked Naruto touched the metal. Orochimaru was enveloped just like Gaara enveloped his opponents with sand. As it started to squeeze, as Orochimaru was crushed like a grape. As blood and other fluids seep from the corners of the metal, it then started to shrink, becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. When Naruto was finished, it was the size of a bowling ball, containing the remains of Sasuke and Orochimaru. "What are you gonna do with that?" asked Ed. "Toss it in the lake and make it sink in the bottom," said Naruto. Time skip. Hospital. The Hokage was in the hospital, his head propped up by several pillows. The metal ball containing Orochimaru's spirit and Sasuke Uchiha remains have been dropped in a lake, he said. "Casualty report that we only lost 30 ninjas. 20 of those were Anvu," said Naruto. "It does not include the Anvu killed prior to the invasion." As Hiruzen nodded, he was not hurt by the battle, but by falling debris. When the sound ninjas were retreating, he sighed at being struck by something out of the battle. The hospital and shelters remained secure, and there were no civilians harmed. "What of Dante?" asked Hokage. "She left, and took many of Orochimaru's forces with her. Kabuto left upon her command, as he had found Temari, who was rather pissed off that Kabuto had fled right in the middle of their fight." "What can you tell us about him?" Ibiki asked. "I would say he's very skilled. High-ranked Jonin from the way he fought." Hiruzen sighed. "I'm really getting too old for this," he said, as Hibachi stepped in at that point. "I've been telling you that for years." "So, Hibachi-bachan," said Naruto, "will the old man live?" "At least another 20 years, if he cut back on the smoking and salty food." As Hiruzen sighed and waved her off. "Naruto, I have a job for you." As Naruto snapped to attention, "You are to find my other student Jiraiya. He's somewhere in the village, and take him to find my last remaining student, Tsunade Senju. She's to return to Konoha and take up the mantle of 5th Hokage." The group was surprised. "Are you serious?" said Naruto. "Yes. I have chosen Tsunade to replace me. This invasion showed that I'm too old to run the village much longer. She's the only one I can trust to take over for me." "What about my team?" said Naruto. "You can take one of them with you. The others will be needed here." As he reached for his pipe on the nightstand, Hibachi snatched it away and gave him a glare. Hiruzen sighed. "As for Jiraiya, he's your best bet at finding Tsunade." "What if she doesn't want to return?" Naruto asked. Then you are to remind her of her vows to me. If she refuses, you are to bring her back by any means necessary. With someone like this Dante out there, we can't be weakened as we are right now. Naruto sighed and bowed his head. He knew what Dante was looking for, and he would do as Hokage asks. And then I'll hunt that bitch down and end her like Ed thought he did all those years ago, Naruto thought. And yeah guys, that's the end. This is the end of episode 1. I'm not too sure if the other sequel is finished, but I'm gonna check it out and let you guys know. So I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around for this, and yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy. But I'm out for now, see you guys soon, peace.